Derek White was more surprised that Draymond Green was sagging off Jaylen Brown or was not punching a teammate on the bench, Wiggy, during that game yesterday.
Listen, I don't know what Steve Kerr's thinking. Like, what's Jalen's biggest issue? Like, when you think about him as a player.
Controlling the basketball when dribbling.
Right, so why wouldn't you be up on him and make him have to dribble than give him space?
I know.
Push him to his left.
I mean, I'm no basketball coach in the NBA, but
You could be.
I would think that's what you want to do.
Might be a union issue. I
could
think
be.
I think you have to be in the union.
I believe you have to be.
Yes. Well, listen, guy, whoever said it earlier, you are adding pressure, I think, to yourselves, which is probably a good thing when you become the first team in the NBA to blow 3 teams out in a single season by 50-plus points, then you have got to win it all.
And you already have the hardos coming out on Twitch on the text line being like, did Courtney just say blow up the whole team? I was being a bit dramatic, but you look at this elite group and the fact that they choke in the playoffs. If they do it again this season, then yeah, there has to be some serious changes. You can't look at the last 3 seasons, if they choke this postseason, which I don't think that they will, and realize that these guys can play a perfectly good regular season, get to the playoffs, and something goes awry. Like, you have to fix it.
Yeah, this season it's going to fall on the shoulders of literally 2 guys. Joe Mazzulla
and Scal.
And Jason Tatum.
And Jason Tatum. Like, if Jason Tatum plays well and you lose, then you know where all the kind of all the arrows will go.
It's going at Joe Mazzulla.
At Joe Mazzulla. But if Jason Tatum doesn't play well, then it's going to be like, oh, he's just a regular season guy. He can score a lot of points. He's a great player in the regular season, but
he can't close it out.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's going to get a bit of the heat as well
No,
if he doesn't show up. After
even.
what they paid him and after the season that he's had, I think that if he doesn't show up in the postseason, there's going to be a lot of...
Yeah, he'll get that, but I think if he doesn't show up, I don't think it's going to be, oh, they lost because he didn't show up, because you still got Porzingis, you still got Derek White, you still got Drew Holiday. It's really falling on Jason Tatum's shoulder.
But it's just, don't you feel like it's a completely different vibe when it comes to this year's team as opposed to last year's team?
You're not going to know the vibe until they hit adversity.
Okay.
You don't know what you are until the S hits the fan. So they've had a great regular season and everything looks amazing, but there's going to be a period, whether it's a game or a quarter or a half or a couple games, where things aren't going well, and then you'll find out.
But who scares you right now, Curtis?
The players on the Celtics that haven't done it yet.
Okay. Well, see, here's the difference. I would say that I'm not as I'm not as concerned this year than I was last year, is because you look at how they play the game. The first quarter, Jason Tatum is really just like a facilitator, letting other guys get theirs off. But when you look at this basketball team, when you look at this basketball team, they can score from so many other ways with other players. So, like, if Jason Tatum's having an off night, Porzingis can step in.
Yep.
Derek White could pick up the slack. We obviously know Jaylen Brown could do that. Drew Holiday. That, I think, is the difference this year, is that Tatum, and even if he has a bad night, there's enough players. And the other thing that he's doing and the team is doing, they're kind of like getting involved early, and then towards the end, they know, okay, let Jason do what Jason does. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what you want from your star player.
All right. Well, Celtics with yet another big 50-plus point win yesterday at the Garden.